back to another video, guys. Today, in this one, it's going to be a different, entire video. This is about Minecraft. You've never seen me play Minecraft before, but I play it on my free time, and I like to build a lot on this game. And I'd what you call an average builder. For me, I don't really build in the terms of blocksy buildings, blocky houses, just straight out of nowhere. This is really going to be a tutorial on how average builders like you can improve on building to get more detail and to get your builds more out there, more technical, more advanced, more made with creativity, if that makes sense. So we'll take this normal spruce wall for a fact. It's bland, it's normal. There's nothing creative about it, realistically. There's no shadowing texture to it, there's nothing you can really do towards it. Apart from if you think out the box a little bit. So in terms of getting normal wood, right? If you take a simple little oak plank, or originally a a log, a stripped spruce log, and then up putting it a bit into the texture of the wall, you get a different texture, and you get a better look, right? That's one of the ways to add a bit more texture to it. The same with a wall. Let me get rid of this chest for a second. See, there's a lot more ways you can add stuff to a wall, making it stand out more by adding logs to the side, as you can see right here. So say this is normal. This is a wall next to a house you're about to build. You're about to make your home, and you want it to be nice and special. You add these to the side. As you can see, it's completely changed how the wall looks already. It completely looks different. It looks more nicer to stare at rather than having a blocky house that you just started out in. And these are the tips that I'd normally be playing with, because this is all you need to know. Same with adding some stairs here to realistically make the building pop out more. Or taking an extra step further, getting some spruce trapdoors, or whatever type of trapdoors you want to use depending on the building that you're going for, and adding them in the middle to give it a more in-depth look, same with the sides. Giving it a much more 3D look. Or making it more 3D, you can also go into this tab, go into the spruce, pick up a button, and it makes it look, a lot better. Anything else wise. It makes it look more technical and more advanced. It'll make people want to really have a look at your build more than others. And then instead adding the barrels, it makes it look a bit more better and more unique. Not entirely, if you don't like the design, you don't like the design, but it makes it look more unique and more fitting in with everything else. It's the same with adding something small. So if I grab one of these, grab a spruce log, and immediately go to the leaves, you see oak leaves, spruce leaves, birch leaves. My favourite is always going to be the dark oak leaves, mainly because they're vibrant, they are floral, and they just, in my opinion, look the best out of all the single you can find. All the flowers you can find. So now we have built up some leafage around the outside of it. It makes it look more green, more nicer, more, creative. There's a chicken in the way we can't do much about. Then we add some of these. These add a lot more definition to it, making it pop out a bit more, making it stand out to the eye, making everything really work better. And these are the things I grew up with. You know what I mean? All these little tips. Depends if you want to add them to the corner. It doesn't make them their best looking thing, but it adds a nice little, look to it. And that's mainly really it for the wooden bit. As you can see, we've transformed the wooden part, made it look a lot better. I'm also going to show you one more little thing which I use for windows, which helps me a lot, honestly. It does help me a lot. I'm going to take these, and then we're just going to build up one, using our stairs here, 3 with our logs, stripped logs, normal logs, however you want to do, so it looks like this. Then we go up one more, like so. We'll grab a fence, it can be any type of fence you want. I'm going to use dark oak to add a little bit of colour to it, as you can see, like so. Then we add this spruce stair again, and it depends on what you want to add here. You can add a trapdoor to minimise the room on top being made, or you can go for a normal slab to put it right there, which I did not mean to break that. I'll put that back really quickly. Put a normal slab right there, and it gives it a little bit more texture. Same with this, add another little bit there, add the same here, then you get your glass. I personally recommend using light grey stained glass because it does make the build look a lot better. At the top, as you can see, you've got a more detailed roof, and so on, right? Now we move on to the cobblestone, which I think I've seen in most players building, they have a harder time using cobblestone than any other really aspect in the game. So I'll show you a few more ways how to detail cobblestone and make it look a bit nicer. So we're going to start off with some mossy cobblestone. We're going to take up the entire bottom part and then we're going to add the mossy cobblestone. Now as you can see, it already looks a little bit better, but we're going to add tiny little detail to this, okay? We're going to make it sort of move up so it's looking like it's about to... It looks like it's older, it looks better, and just all in all, it looks a lot more nicer to look at. So we're adding some to the sides like so. Gives it more nature to it really. Now, on the sides to make a normal house, realistically, you're going to want stone, cracked stone, and depending if you want chiseled or mossy, but I'm going to go use mossy for now. So you want to use one of them, then you want to go one of the cracked, then you got two with the normal stone bricks. And then you want to go up one more with a cobblestone so it looks better and it looks like it's gone from old to new. It looks nicer like this. You can also use the same with my favourite, I would like to say. You can also use the same with andesite and polished andesite, putting this into the build to make it look a little bit more grainy, a little bit more smoother, mainly. If you really wanted to, make it look a little bit more better in other ways too. So pulling up more, like so, making it look more new or more like however you really want to do it, like so. You can see you go from old to new all the way up to the top, and it's just about layering on textures, really. If you can layer on the texture nice, you can make a nicer house. Now, apart from stone, there isn't much I can really show you for stone, because I'd need to have a building for that. But I will show you how I normally use, or how I utilize doors for a nice stone building. And then after this, I'll show you a bunch of builds I've done, and then I'll show you what there is to really look at. Door has never failed me in terms of, well, however you want to build it. But the way I do this is I'll show you right now. So you can see you have the andesite stairs at the bottom, you have them on the top, and you also have them at the top just coming in to the middle, making it better for everyone. And for really everyone to look at, it just makes it more nicer and more visible to the eye, because you can see it adds a bit more detail, and I'll show you a bit more about detail on some of the buildings that I'll show you later, as I've said before. And now it turns on to these. Now these are patterns that you can add, so if you want to make a nicer little pattern wall, you can just add more stuff to it. You see, like so. Make it more nicer. Add some strip logs in there. Also coming up with a smaller pattern here. And this would make a nice flooring or a nice wall. And then I'm going to also show you what I mean by I'm going to grab a dark oak log, because that's going to be the most useful for this right now. Then pouring it into this. Then again going into here, putting it by 1. This adds a nice little design. Then adding the spruce stairs, because it looks a lot nicer on the dark oak wood. going for the spruce slabs for this one, I'd say. Spruce. Then on the top, I'd recommend the spruce slabs and, of course, the spruce trapdoor to give it a more neater look. Then, of course, you can follow the bottom as well, going like so, like this, adding a little bit more detail to that. And I'd also recommend adding a window. Now, I'm going to be using panes, mainly because panes for me the only thing I really enjoy using, in my opinion. So you go light and dark. And then I'm going to show you a little window tutorial, which I think is amazing. For this one, I'm going to use stone. So I'm going to put this down by 1, put this down by 1, get a oak stair to complement the oak stripped log. This down like this, like so. And then straight in front, go to your floral page, get a flower of your choice. I'm going to pick my favourite flower, which is always going to be the cornflower. I'm torn between the blue orchid and the cornflower, but my favourite is indeed the cornflower. Mainly because it looks the best and it's got a nice vibrant blue colour to it that you need in the building. Like so. Adds a lot of depth, makes it look nicer as well, and just, I don't know, adds more in my book. It adds more. Adds a lot more. So if you want to add a few more different things, you can take, obviously you can take 4 out of this and improve into this. Now, we're going to go have a look at a recent build that I've done, and I'm going to show you how you can improve in certain things too. The same deal as we see with one of my friends on this Realm server that I'm currently on. We have a completely different building. So as you can see, normal buildings are, boxy, all this type of stuff. But if you can just see the details he's added in, little windows on the side, slabs, it's really simple to improve. I think most people gloss over it. It's very simple to improve, but some people don't, because they don't think they really want to really learn and listen, when they'd rather search up tutorials on how to build houses. But if you just take in a look at how they've done certain houses, or how they've done certain details into this sculpture, and in how they've made the building, as you can see, utilizing the dripstone in the newer updates, using the berry bushes that are very useful, and actually I personally really love using them for houses. The mushrooms, which I've never really seen people use in buildings before. The spruce, the buttons, a little chimney made out of deep slate, and using the banners as well. It's a beautiful work of art, and it's so simple to make these types of decorations, which we're now going to move on to the next base, which I'm going to tell you a lot about. Now I'll move on to one of my recent builds, personal builds onto the server, with a simple tower. Now, as you can see from how recent it is, if I go up here for a second, you can see how the mistakes I've made on this build. I really regret making this, mainly because I don't think it's good enough to really be used. But if you can see the little outlines that I started off with, making it blocky, you can see the mistakes I've made. Well, from a normal builder, an average builder like myself, if you look at this house and you can understand the mistakes I've made, then you really know what you're doing and you know how to build properly. So if you look at the mistakes from this perspective, you can say this. The corners are already not done. They've been made too wide, too blocky in my opinion, and not really been made to have much effort there. With my personal opinion on the roof is not slanted enough. It should have went up more. My mistake was not putting it up 3 by 2. So, I'll show you what I mean. So with a normal roof, as you can see, people just go up by 1. But if I show you this roof really quickly, this one goes up by 1, 2, 2, 1, 2, 2, and then occasional 3. And that's how you make a more detailed look. And also, there's too much going on here. There's these stairs at the front which don't look good. There's slabs and everything up there that don't make it pop out as much and make it look awful. The side designs are not bad, but they're not great. They could be they could have a lot more work into them because it's just the same thing over and over, which it should be, but it should have a lot more difficulty and a lot more. Yeah, it should be nicer to look at. Realistically, I haven't finished the back because I'm just going to work on the different projects on this point, mainly because I I messed up. The main reason I'm building a new project is the main reason is because, as you can see from here, I went up by 1, went up by 2. As you can see, it's a completely different looking roof. And it looks so much better than my main one, which I realised my mistake, and I'm going to work on that mistake, and I'm going to use have a better mind on my next little project I make, which moves us onto my second building. Well, not my second one, my first, my main little base. As you can see, it's detailed, but you can also, as soon as you look at it, see a lot of flaws in it. Now, the way to spot out these flaws is you really need to know how to work your way around a building. And I'm not calling myself an amazing builder, I'm calling myself an average builder. I'm just obviously showing you what to point out and what to work on and to improve your building skills, improve your mindset on how to build. This is really for beginners or average people to work on, it's not for professionals. But as you can see on the inside, I've made a lot of little details on the side of the walls. I wish I had an lecture so I can show you around these sides. But as you can see, the sides, there's a lot of detail to them. There's a lot of on the side work. There's a heavy bottom work, but on the top, it's kind of been ignored. If I go onto here and show you the rest of the realm, on the tree in the middle, everything here. As you can see, this right here is nothing to really be ecstatic about. Which moves us on to the next step of how to be a better builder. Working on how to place your buildings. So if you were to let me make an example building really quickly for you guys. So I've made a little sketch building for me to build upon and to show you what's wrong with it. So there's a lot of stuff here that's really wrongly built. You don't know what you've placed. As you can see with this being uneven, not matching, and just being a bit plain in all of itself. I'm going to show you another tip that I personally learned from another content creator by the name of Grian, a very good builder. Probably, well, in my opinion, I would say one of the best you can really have in the building industry in Minecraft. A very huge builder and a very huge builder and a very huge content creator in itself. I'm also going to show you how you can improve on that, how to improve on this and to make it look a lot better. So start by getting, your average spruce log going up by 3, then counting 3 in between, so 1, 2, 3, go up again by 3, and then in the middle, just add a simple concrete in the middle. And then do it again, so 1, 2, 3, and doing the same thing, but this time making your doorway, 1, 2, 3, again, but this time making the window pane. Now a lot of people use this, and a lot of people find it an amazing way to work upon, to making their builds. You can also do the exact same thing, and then as I'll show you, add little stripped spruce logs on the outside. As you see, adding spruce logs to the sides make it pop out more. So what you really want to do is just aim for the direct attention to detail instead of having more of nothing to your build. Same with like this, having something pop out if you really want to. I wouldn't recommend this. I'm just going to put this there so I can build upon it, because I'm not going to lie, it's kind of hard. There we go. Like so, adding more attention to your detail. Same with doing this, adding stuff like so, making your stuff stand out more. With this one, I'm going to use a mud brick wall to just add better detailing to it. And then for the sides, you can obviously use, but in my opinion, I'm going to use an iron trapdoor because it's going to make it look a lot better in my opinion. And I'll show you that in a second with some polished diorite slabs. Put that there, and then put that on the sides. In my case, in my case, it's all about adding that small little detail, that extra little detail you need to make everything better in the long run. Then also, on the end, I'll show you another trick. I'll show you the same trick with this. And it's the same thing by adding these little it's the same thing by adding these little trapdoors here. Adding a little trapdoor with a log and some bushery on the top, and you'll be in a whole new world of detail. Same with adding these little trapdoors here, putting a slab in the middle and adds more texture to it. Adding the mud brick walls to add more texture. Adding different bits of wall to add texture to a house as you'd see in a real life house. It's all add realism, realistically. And that leads to my last tip, which is going to be the end of the video. People put in mind that you don't. Now, obviously, it takes time to become a better builder. If you really want to put that much work into becoming a better builder, but if you use all of these tips, all of these tips I've shown you on how to make your builds better, you will improve so quickly. And it's the same if you want me to post more building tutorials or like a house tutorial, or even just make me post a building that I can build and you to copy. That would be a lot helpful for you or for me. It would be nice. You feel me? But yeah, it's really simple to become a better builder. All you really need is a better mind, good communication. Maybe watch some YouTube tutorials like this one. Go watch Korean. Go watch Mumbo Jumbo. Whatever you want to do, really. It all depends on your interest and how you like to build. So, say if you like to build medieval, fantasy, all that types of stuff. I'm very accustomed to that area because I love to build fantasy and medieval, which is why I love building stuff like this. I hate building modern. I don't like building modern houses. It just doesn't really work out well. But with fantasy and medieval, it is so easy and simple to build because of all these games that you see. You play all these games. It's so much simple. But if all these tips and tricks are going to help you build better and make better objects and stuff to make you feel happy, then I hope it's helped you and it's made you happier. As you can tell, I'm not here to obviously try and make professionals better. I'm just here to make beginners better. As you can see, show off what I know already and try and help people that don't know how to build as much as I do or other people do. So if you enjoyed this tutorial, please hit the like button. Subscribe if you want to keep tuned in what I'm doing with future videos, such as if it be Fortnite or Minecraft, other games like such, and hit that notification bell.